before now we've been talking about termite treatment, termite this, termite that. But only few people know that termites also contribute majorly to building collapse. You see, if you know that it is, if you have been in a village, maybe you build a house and you travel to Lagos for 3 months and you come back to your village, sometimes the ceiling might have come down before you get there. Yeah, you understand? It might have come down before you get there. So that means the integrity. I've seen termite treatment before that you'll be shocked. All the block, we use all this hollow block to construct house in this part of the world. All those hollow block like this, those mold will be inside full, to the point that you will notice that the wall of that building is always wet. It's always wet. What do you think will happen to that building? And the building is carrying a load, several tons of wood and roof. And you keep touching the wall of the building, it's wet. You don't know that termites are actually living. There's a lot of oxidation process going on inside, aeration, because the termites, they are generating oxygen, they are living inside. They've caused those, they keep building through the hollow blocks that are going in. It's just a matter of time. Crack will happen. Little tension, maybe a wind or something just happened. Just realize that the building just cave in. But something has been wrong from the foundation. So briefly, and I look at it, there's no other better person to talk about this thing except someone that is very vast on the field. Vast on the field of especially termite control. Termite is one area I hope you can look into. A lot of you don't take advantage of it because it's a multi-million-dollar market for us as pest controllers. But we seem to be so comfortable with our rat and cockroach because it's so common. In fact, you can specialize only on termite and you are raking in millions on a monthly basis. You understand? If you specialize only on termite control, because Nigerian land, north to south, either the rainforest to the Sahel, has termite issue. You get to, if you are in Benin, Ondo State, go to east, go to the north. There is termite, even farmers have a lot of harvests are destroyed daily by termite. But we focus today on what concerns, we are in an urban city, Lagos. You are not doing much of agriculture. Yeah? But there's only a week or a month that you don't hear that one building cave in. Someone will say, but in Lagos, do we still have termite? There's a lot of termites in Lagos. Like somebody was asking me the other day, said, how do you see snake in Lagos? I said, why not? Snake, you think it's all the snake has died? Why not? Why are they seeing snake in New York? So I want to call on Pco Chuks Nwosu, the pest control prof himself. Give him a round of applause. A lot of you have benefited from his wealth of knowledge. So celebrate him, brothers. Celebrate him. He dishes out without apology. Without apology, and it's very important. So he's going to be talking now about termites, and he's going to use these few minutes. Apologies for giving him few minutes. But he's going to be using these few minutes to do justice to this subtopic. Thank you, Pest Control Prof. Thank you.
First of all, I'm going to say a big thank you to DFORTUNE. And I want us to please, I want to disturb us a little here. A standing ovation for DFORTUNE for putting this together. Please, let's do that, please. This is a wonderful event. This is what I have dreamt of. And when he told me that he was going to do this, I told him, I can't remember that, but I think I told you that I have seen into the future. It's going to be a wonderful event. Thank you very much for this platform. And 10 minutes is not enough for me for this. Number one, the topic you gave me is one that is dear to my heart. I have been to, the only place I've not done termite control is in the north. I've done termite control in the west, the south-south, the southeast. Which other south-north? South-north there. Okay. So in my years of dealing with termites, I have garnered experience and I have some hacks I want to teach us. I want to show us this afternoon. DFORTUNE has mentioned how building collapse happens with termites. You see, in this part of the world, especially in the western part, there are more building collapse because they use hollow blocks here. In the east, they use solid blocks. Okay? So see, these hollow blocks, I don't know whether they even have advantages. They should have. That's why people use them. But the fact is that termites make their way into the hollows, and through the hollows, they make their way into people's living quarters. So most times, a lot of us feel that termites cannot cause building collapse, as in because they don't eat concrete. But because of what he has explained, they can cause collapse. You know, they come in to eat wooden parts, wooden structures in our facility, and they cause different damage. Now, I'm going to give us some hacks that will help us on the field. But before I do that, Mr. Peter talked about branding. So I want to tell us that the best branding you can give yourself is to take yourself to that point where you will be so knowledgeable that your clients cannot be pushing you like this. That is the best branding you can give your. In fact, that's where you start from. Know the job and you set yourself apart from the ordinary. Am I making sense, please? Now to termite. I have found that a lot of people that do pest control, termite control, they don't understand the science behind termite control. A lot of us that do termite control, we don't know that there's something called exclusion, even in termite control. So we believe that exclusion is just for rats, it's just for cockroaches. You know, these termites come in through cracks, even as tiny as a pinhead. They come in like that, and they come into homes to ravage homes. What I have found is this. Even tiles, the grout line between tiles, I don't know whether you've noticed it on the field, they come out from there. So if you are doing termite control, remember, do not leave that facility until you have sealed some of those places where they come out from. So most of our termite control jobs, we go with white cement. We go with white cement. So you do some sealing here and there. That's one. Then there's this thing called termite baiting. A lot of us don't do it. I'm not talking about termite bait stations though. The first time I used termite baits in Nigeria, I had to import termite baits. And when I did, I checked my pocket. I was like, this is not healthy. I can't keep up with this. So I resorted to manufacturing my own baits here. And man, they have proved very effective. So I'm going to show us how to do that. Please, if you want to learn that, let me hear you shout, DFORTUNE! Okay. You see, those termite baits come, the material they use for them are materials that termites feed on. I have found that termites, they love soft wood, right? So what we do is this. We go to the market, we buy soft wood, then plenty for market. Cut them into maybe 6 inches. 6 inches. Soak them in the almighty premise. Soak them 2-3 days. My colleague, they soak it home for 3 weeks. Have you done and dusted? How many weeks? And please, done and dusted. We collaborated on a job together. He learned that trick and he's been using it. And how has it been, sir? Please. 100%, right? So what happens is this. A lot of us, we focus on trenching. We focus on, what else? All those other, we drill and treat and all that. We do not remember that these termites we are talking about, their nest could be somewhere else. And one day, they will come back. So what we do, we plant baits for them. And when you plant these baits, they will go and feed on the baits you have planted. Take some of it back to their colony, feed their queen with it, and feed everybody in the colony, and you have what? 100% kill. So what do? Soak this softwood in premise. You know, premise is SC, solution concentrate, is residual. It stays with that wood. When you plant it in the soil, you're planting it with poison. And because of the way termite is formulated, of course, you don't have to, you should know how to mix it, follow product prescription. Mix it well. The termites that eat of it will not die immediately. They will take some part of it back to their colony. It has worked 100% well for us. So that's for pest control practitioners. Now, there's another thing that we do, that I do for my client. It is called pipe reticulation system. Pipe reticulation system. You see this system, it beats everything you can talk about in termite treatment. So take, for example, this is how it works. This building, at the point of construction, imagine that you place pipes, perforated pipes, at the perimeters, inner and outer. And you have an outlet or inlet for the pipes outside where you feed termiticide in. So the idea behind this is that every time, periodically, you can be feeding termiticide into the pipes, even when the building is standing, and it will be delivering termiticide all around, providing protection all around. So these are some of the things that I do on the field that I said I was going to share with us, being the first edition of this conference, for us to take home and practice. But most importantly, let us understand the science behind these things, the workings of the pesticides that we use. We need to know how to use them. We need to know how the pests that we treat, how they behave. So as a pest management professional that is treating termites, the worker termite is actually your friend. That is why you mustn't use anyhow pesticides to deal with them. Because you need the worker termite to take back the termiticide you're using back to their nest, back to their colony, to affect the larger population. Thank you. I hope I have made some good points. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's too short, Abby.
Thank you. We're going to be having post consolidation webinars to support the conference that we've had. It's a long, we keep doing things to make. Don't worry, Prof will come back. You see, a lot of people buy premise. By the way, premise is available here today. It's by Henvo, and it's available at a 15% discount for today's exhibition.
Wow.
So if you are buying premise today, just go to the Henvo stand there. They're going to give you 15% courtesy Henvo Africa. So they're going to give 15% discount just for today. I don't know about tomorrow. So, just for today, it was just announced while the conference was going on. In fact, I remember I was having a meeting with the Henvo Africa, South Africa, and a day ago, and they're like, next year conference, I must be in Nigeria in person. It shows we are getting somewhere as a country. We used to look for visa to go and attend conference. Yeah. They will now look for visa to come to Nigeria to see us because we're trying to do things differently as a nation. So for premise, a lot of people will buy premise. Where a lot of people have issue is this. Prof said the worker termite is your friend. You don't miss very well. You are used to the mindset of the way you miss concussion when you are using a emulsified concentrate. You want to do pest control in the house, you mix chlorpyrifos with dimethylate, with dichlorophos, with lambda-thiolate. You now stop it up with cypermethrin. Then you put piperoni, petozide. You just stop everything. Now become a concussion. You say, it will be hard to one time. You understand? You are used to that. So when you now buy premise, you want to also use the same mindset. It may not help you. Because premise is supposed to be ratio 1 to 800. Imidacloprid, that's 1 liter goes to 800 liters of water. A lot of our people will say, let me use 200 liters of water. You will not get that same result. What that will do for you, he said workers are your friend. When you use 200 liters to that 1 liter, all the workers will die within 10-15 minutes. Because of the concentration is high. You just successfully wasted your chemical. You thought you killed them, but you just wasted your chemical, but you have not killed the queen. But if you mix it according to the 800 liters, when the workers come around it, they don't see it as poison. They just live inside it. So when you look at it, it says provide long-time dependable effective protection at low doses. So that low doses is the key to premise, low dose. You understand? So they are able to carry that thing, it's like a virus they carry, to their colony to infest and infect others. But if you just kill the workers, how do you get to where the general of the army is? So you need those people as a trail. So when you use it according to prescription of that low doses, yes, if you apply it at high dose, imidacloprid will kill any insect now. Yeah. Natural. It will kill. But the science behind formulation of premise is different. It is formulated to be able to trace the termite, even if they are going to go 200 meters away from that place to go to wherever their colony is. They will travel. That low dose may not kill that worker even in a week, in 2 weeks. In fact, we tell you, leave it. After 1 month, give me feedback. Because you begin to see population drop in termite activities. They will be living as though they are, just like the way anticoagulant work. So don't just over try to say, I want to ensure my clients. The expectation of your client, try to lower it. Explain to the, if you look at this, there are certain articles that are there, talks about how to educate some of your clients. Read some of those articles were put together for you to go back to. Read that. So don't overcharge your chemical, right? Use it according to prescription. Thank you so very much, Prof.
I want to add one thing or two.
Thank you.
Please.
One. Time. Okay. Thank
One.
you. So
the fact is this, and that's why I said people need to understand the workings of these insecticides that we use. Imidacloprid is a non-repellent insecticide. Most of these other ones that we use are repellent. At the end of the day, they are killing the termites, also repelling them. But you need the termites, the worker termites, to take the active ingredient back to their colony. That's what we need. When you use all these repellent ones, you are not going to get, what you want, the effect you want, actually. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Someone will use chlorpyrifos. You just chase them away, kill some, and in 3 months' time, infestation continue. Lastly, in this panel this afternoon, I'm going